Well, I got home and I realized I did all those videos with Curtis today, and I missed some of the horses from people's barns. So I'm gonna have to go through all the barns, go through all the stables. It's the only right thing to do. I feel bad. I get messages from people saying, "Oh, you forgot my horse." Sometimes they miss the horse, or sometimes I forgot the horse, and I'm trying to get these lists done. As you can imagine, we've sold some horses. Some horses come back in from the field. We send some horses out to the field, and once in a while I miss one. So this is a list of all the stables. We're going to run through them quick because most of the horses that are racing, I had mentioned them earlier. We'll start in Kevin's barn. So Kevin's barn, we got American League. I'd mentioned him earlier. He's close to racing now. And Art Seeker. These are top two on my list. And Be My Delight and Better Call Mike. All four of them right here on the list of horses that are almost ready to go within the next 10 days. Then we got Boldness. Now Boldness has switched over to me. I couldn't do anything in the last 2 days because it was muddy. But Boldness Monday morning will be his first day with me. So I know I said I was going to get him last week, and I've been doing a little bit of work with him, but he wasn't actually up where I have him. He'll be up where I have him starting Monday morning. I didn't think he looked that bad in the track the other day. I think he needs some help. He needs some, we're going to make some changes on Boldness. Try and get him back to, a couple of times I saw him train, I thought he looked really well. And just the last little while, he just hasn't. And there's no doubt in my mind that this horse could make a racehorse, but we can't wait forever. Now, can we? We're going through that right now with King of the Ball. We went through that with some other horses. I'd love to wait forever, but we just can't. If I can't justify or build a plan where I can say, hey, John, Paul, Dick, Harry, whoever, this horse will be ready to go in 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, and this is what we have to do to accomplish that. Then if I can't build that plan, then it's not a lost cause, but at some point, you're really just throwing good money after bad and hoping that the horse gets better now. And, you know, you look like a horse like Fan the Flames. I still think his best races are ahead of him, but he accomplished at least a little bit, enough to keep us chomping at the bit, enough to keep looking down the road. And I feel some of these horses, you know, I feel bad. Some of them might end up being okay horses, but I just can't wait forever. You know, if there's more uncertainty swirling around the horse than potential and talent and ability from what I can see, then it really casts a shadow of doubt on whether the horse will be the horse that we bought him to be. And if he is, when is that? And I don't know. So Boldness, he's on a real short leash. I said that for a while. He still is. I want to get a good 10 days with me to see if we can tinker with him and see if we can see just a glimmer of what we need him to be. So Boldness coming up with me on Monday. Book the Bet is out in the field. And I apologize, I'm not going to mention everybody that's out in the field this week. I had a field list, but for the most part, all the horses that are in the field, they're on their way back soon. So by December 15th, 2018, we'll have almost every horse that is affiliated with TheStable.ca at TheStable.ca. And the only two I can think of that certainly won't be there just yet are Not an Angel. She didn't have a long season, but she had some issues that she's dealing with, that she was dealing with throughout the season. There's soft tissue issues and maturity issues and things we can fix with time. So we're just going to give her all the time she actually needs. So, my God, I got a lot of papers here that are useless. Whatever. Anyway, by December 15th, we're going to see how. So within 30 days, every horse except for Not an Angel, Lawmaker, potentially White Tiger, and Cruising with Style. Cruising in Style might be, but the other three likely won't be. Those will be the only four that I can think of that are turned out that won't be back at that point, because everybody should. So if you don't hear your horse, it's simply because the horse is out in the field. I'd love to tell you, I could lie to you and say, yeah, I got an update yesterday. The horse is eating great. It's walking great. I expect they all are. Feeling good. Taking some time to relax. Putting on weight. This is what we pay our turnout farms for. There's nothing worse than getting a horse back that, you know, was, and this is the tricky part from a turnout farm. You turn a lot of horses out together. You got to make sure that one of them isn't getting chased around by the other horses too much, that they're not getting all the food they're supposed to get. Then they come back in looking like we need to turn them out, and that's frustrating, and we've combated that. I've talked to a couple of our turnout farms about that, and they understand that. I mean, from a trainer's standpoint, most of these people train horses and know what they're supposed to look like. I just want to make sure that, you know, hey, horses due back in 3 weeks. make sure the horse is putting on weight, make sure the horse looks shiny, make sure the horse comes back good. And that's what we expect. So book the bet. She's out at a farm for another couple of weeks, and then she'll be coming back. Cash in on me. He's turned the corner. He's really starting to look a lot better. I saw Kevin train him in the jog cart in 14. Everybody's saying, well, you went in 210 before. This is the moment when this horse starts to build that almost racehorse muscle behind. And this is the thing people don't understand, is that the muscle you build at top speed, you can't build doing other things. That's why you can't get a horse ready jogging him, walking him. You have to put miles into him. Then the miles get stronger. Some of them get longer. And then you start to put that. And then once they start to race, that's why the best race of a horse's life certainly isn't his first start lifetime. It's 15th, 20th if they have talent, a lot of talent, maybe a little bit longer. And that's because that high-end muscle that they put in, that fast, that strenuous muscle that they pack on, can only be built on in one way, and that's racing. So Cash In On Me is creeping closer to that race date, and don't think you're going to see him go out and win 5 in a row, his first 5. You're not going to have popcorn watching him race his first couple of starts, but I believe if this horse's muscles strengthen up the way I think they will, please keep in mind, he's still a 2-year-old. So as he starts to strengthen up, we'll probably race him 4 or 5 times. If we like him, we're going to turn him out, let him grow into the bigger horse he's obviously going to be. This could be a variation of Fan the Flames, either better or maybe a little worse. We won't know until we get this horse to the track. But having said that, we're now talking about Cash In On Me approaching that area where we could maybe take him over to school him in a few weeks. He's clearly still a little weaker in his left stifle than his right. I can see him trotting on the track. He's just growing. He's a big boy. So his knees are probably still a little bit open because you're taking weight from the front end to the back end. Those stifles are going to have a lot of strain. You got to load that somewhere else, probably up on their back. I would say as we get him closer to 2.5, you're going to see his back be very tight up top. At that point, you give them a week or 10 days off of light jogging, work on their knees, work on their feet, work on their stifles, and again, work on that back to get that tension reduced in their back, and then continue on. So that's where we're at with Cash In On Me. He's coming. He's getting closer. It's no longer maybe we'll see it. I think I've seen enough to say he's getting there, but you're gonna see. It's gonna take it a couple more weeks, a few more weeks. Listen, I think the people that hung in there, the people that have been buying up those shares for that gigantic price of $50 a share that everybody keeps offering on poor Cash In On Me. Truthfully speaking, we can ambush him for more than that. So Cash In On Me is just fine the way he is. I own half, I think, of Cash In On Me, and I would love to say he's going to race next week. He'll win his maiden. He'll win his way up, and then we'll see what happens. That won't be the trajectory for Cash In On Me. It's going to be a slow grind all the way into the qualifying times and into his first few races. I would suspect we'll race him 3, 4, 5 times, much like Delcrest Star Angel. They're big, giant horses that just have big, heavy frames, and you can race them a little bit, then put them away and let them pack on a little more muscle through maturity. So Cash In On Me, he's coming. He's getting closer now. Dancing at Midland, qualified on Thursday. We talked about him in the video. Dancing on My Own's getting closer. She's starting to look real good too. Kevin is very interested in this filly. Same as always, when Jacques, the little French guy, goes with her, she doesn't put out that much, but when Kevin goes with her, she looks a lot sharper, and I have yet to sit behind her, and I'm expecting to soon enough. Dewey Ann is the other part of the Daily Double. It's going to be coming up with me, Boldness and Dewey Ann, and on Monday. I've been working a little bit with them, but they're coming to me. To a new barn, back to Shed Row 6, the end of Shed Row 6, where I'm going to take care of them starting Monday. Dewey Ann, she's up in the air. You know, here's a filly that already showed the tenacity to win at 2. We give her a lot of time off, brought her back. She still looks clunky and a little rough on the track, but she's getting better, and I think she'll get a lot better in the near future. Holding Steady, I haven't talked to Kevin about him. He has been training down. I know he said he trained good. I personally didn't get a chance to see him go yet, except for a couple weeks ago. I watched him go a mile like 25. I thought he looked really good. If I Knew Susie, I mentioned her earlier. This is a filly that's racing in the condition claiming ranks in London and bouncing around London and Flamborough. She's doing okay. I think she was second her last 2 starts, if I'm not mistaken. Candy Mac, a horse I'm actually very interested to see what Kevin says about him. I haven't talked to him. I haven't seen him train. But I saw him in the stall, and he's at least 30% bigger than he was when Jason had him in Ohio, just from sheer maturity. We turned him out. He blew up exactly what we want to see. I haven't had a chance to ask Kevin specifically how much he's been with him or when's he ready to go, but I'd say he's been around 220. Same goes for Majesty Boy. I did watch him go the other day. He looked good. He looked really good. And I was pretty interested to see him train after that. And I thought he looked even better when he went the second trip with him. I was really happy with Majesty Boy. Also, Master Saver's very, very close. One of our clients said he went last trip with him today at Mohawk. I obviously was at the farm working with people and talking to people and checking over horses and helping clean up, and I didn't go over to Mohawk to see Master Saver go, but I saw him go the other day and he looked very, very good. So I already know he's a nice horse in that regard. He wants to do his work. The sounder Master Saver is, the more effective he'll be, because his attitude's bang on. He's a worker and he wants to win races. So Master Saver's close. Quartz Blue Chip is close. She's the opposite side of the coin. I'm not certain she wants to do a whole lot of anything some days, and then other days she'll go out and train her and she looks good. Now, I saw Kevin train her last week. I thought she looked rather well. I think he's been around 2.9 with her. She's again creeping closer to that qualifying date, that schooling date. I think we schooled her once last year. She'd have to school again anyway. So I would suggest probably she's 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks away. I know I may have told you 2 weeks ago they're 2 weeks away, but you know, from 2:10 to 2 minutes, everybody treats him a little bit differently. She would have been schooling right now had she been in our barn, but I completely respect the way Kevin runs things, and Kevin tells me she's 2 weeks away. She's 2 weeks away. Road Tripper. No rush with this guy too. I know he's been around 220, 215. I saw him go the other day and he looked real, real good, as I knew he would. Road Tripper's just an all-around nice horse, and he's getting bigger and stronger. He's got feet that bother him up front, so the trick is to take care of his feet, and when his feet aren't 100%, it loads weight onto his knees and his hind end, and just a matter of stopping with him, cleaning his feet up, working on those secondary issues, and then returning back to training full power. And he is close also, I believe. So that's Kevin's barn. I'm going to be back in just a minute. We'll run through Harry and Jason and get you out of here. Going through the barns real quick, I went through some of the horses racing and close to the races at the outset, and then I realized I didn't mention everybody in the barn. I didn't do that, so we're going to run through everybody real quick. Harry's barn, Autumn Wings, has been around 25. She's probably a month away, right on track to what we thought she would be doing when we thought she'd be doing it. I know Harry, every time I say how is she, he says good. I would like a variation of good. Not so good or really good would be better now, but I didn't get to see her go the other day, but she'll be training probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll take a real good look at Harry's barn on that day. Fan the Flames qualified the other day. He's ready to go. We're going to race him this coming Thursday. He's going to need a couple of starts, but I was very, very impressed with his qualifier. Final Answers, not back training yet, but looks good jogging. Probably train him. I might go down and train him on Tuesday, see how he looks. Just a tad, a little bad news with Just a Tad. He was running in a little bit. We got him fluoroscoped, and there's an OCD in his ankle. I own almost all of Just a Tad, and at that point, it's continue on and inject it, but then you're talking maintenance down the road. You're really not helping him. So it's either sell him or fix him. And I guess I filed it under in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm going to opt to fix him. So we are going to operate on him. He'll be off for a month. 30 days from the day we take the chip out. Just a tad until he'll be back going. Lima's son, no chips in him. He's almost ready to go. He's not almost ready to go. I have him slated in for December 15th. I would say in 30 days, Lima's son will be in to qualify. I like what I see so far from him. We haven't rescanned that suspensory, but Harry says it's holding very tight, very good, no deviation. One thing when you're recovering from soft tissue injuries, I need to know they're doing it the same all the time. When you start seeing them do little things differently, it's usually them taking weight from somewhere. And you got to be very, very careful with that. So Harry tells me he's the same. He knows. I don't have to tell him. He says he's good. Lincoln James is racing Saturday night at Mohawk. I'm driving him. He's picked to win. Probably see a little more aggressive drive from him this week. Jody takes care of him good. You know, he's driven him good. He understands the horse, and you know, I wish he'd have moved him last week, and he probably wishes he had moved him. But that's racing. He will be moved tonight. Linnea, I've seen her train 2 or 3 times now. She looks really good. Every time I watch her go by, I'm listening for her breathing, and I'm looking at her nose. I want to see if there's any discharge or if she's lethargic. Both times I was very close and on the track, and watch her blew by me. She sounded great. She looked good. No mucus in her nose. That's what we're looking for. This is a filly that we had some real issues with sickness and allergy last year. Both her and Sunshine Inn, both of them got vaccinated pretty strongly when they come back. We have them on supplements. We're watching them. They both seem really good. Linnea is almost ready to go. So is the next horse, Maxwell Plum. He's getting there too. I thought he would have been in the bike today. I think next week he will be in the bike. Ready for the beach, same for him. He's right around the same time. Probably bike time for him is coming up very soon. Screaming Hawk has just started training. He's going to be about a month or more coming back. Looks really good, sprouted up good, put on weight, exactly what I want to see. Sunshine Inn, as I said, same as Linnea. They are training. They are getting close. We're cruising up into that to that time where we stick them in the bike over at Mohawk and go mile in 2:4, 2:5. They're closing in on that time frame. Not too far away. The Butler did it. Was getting there, and then we took him over. His splints were hurting him. His feet were hurting him. He looked better. We crowd his splints. He looked better on the track today. Harry's asked me for time with this colt, and I don't blame him, and I'm happy to grant it, because this colt doesn't look the same as he did in the fall or in the summer. He doesn't look nearly the same. He looks bigger, he looks stronger, he looks like he's got his head on straight. I'm very intrigued with the way this horse looks right now, and if Harry wants the time, Harry will get the time. So the Butler did it, was training, probably peel him back a little bit and probably push his start time back about 4 or 5 weeks, as we want to get it right with this guy. Please keep in mind, these are still babies. They may have raced a little bit or been ready and turned out. They are still 2-year-olds, nowhere near their maturity date. Some of them will mature much later in the 3-year-old year and even into their 4-year-old year. We can race them along the way, but the key is not to hurt them, and the Butler did it. We are actually going to take our time with him. Too Far Gone, she's along the same lines as the other ones. She'll be going in the bike probably within the next 2 weeks. So that's Harry's barn. I'll be right back in a minute with Jason's barn, and then that's it for the barns here on the 17th of November. Back now with Jason's barn. Now Jason's got a lot of horses getting ready also. Got one that got turned out. A bunch that have qualified or will qualify. Geez, I'm looking at his list, and almost everything in here is either qualified or on its way. Arvika we turned out for a month. I said she was just too big after her last race. She's out in the field now. Boston Glide is racing tonight at Flamborough Downs, post 9. First start back, post 9 at Flamborough. Tough class, actually, for Flamborough Downs, but I think Boston Glide will be just fine. Casanova's Jewel, I don't think he's begun training yet. I told Jason to take his time with him. I got high hopes for this colt at 3. Obviously, this is a colt that made a break in Pennsylvania, spotted the field, a billion lengths, and then roared back to win the race. He only went in 59 or 2 minutes, but the way he did it was rather impressive. So he's proven that he wants to be a horse. We're going to let him take his time getting back to there. Canale Hanover's closing in on it. He's getting close. I know Jason said he went 1.5 miles the other day. Last half in 1:04 on the jog cart, and he was very good. So I can assume he's close to going in the bike. Canale Hanover, that is Canale Hanover. Curious Winner, also 1.5 miles last half in 4. He's close to going in the bike. He looks like a much bigger version of the animal we put away just a couple of months ago. Curious Winner, he's almost ready to go in the bike. Dance Hall Babe's still out. She's going to be out for another month. I'm going to give her lots of time to fill out and grow up. She is out in the field. Delcrest Star Angel, a couple more starts, and we'll kick her back out to let her fill back out. I'd like to see her race maybe next Friday in London, maybe next Saturday in Flamborough again. Just get a couple of starts into her, get some experience. What I saw, her first start was smart. She was that splint right front that we had recrowd was bothering her. Left front, I'm sorry, was bothering her a little bit. And she still trotted the whole mile and did her work well. Very smart filly. She understands what she's supposed to be doing, and she did it. Happy Holidays qualified today in a sloppy track at Flamborough. 2-4 last quarter and 29 in a piece. Very happy with that line and very happy with what I saw in her. Jason went with her, so that's like 1 mile and 53, 54. No, she was very good, though. 2-4 at Flamborough, good. Jalona is in to go Monday at London. Looked great the other day in her schooler. And should be good Monday night at London. Dropped her down in for 85. She might be claimed. She might not. I don't know. But she's in where she can probably do some damage. So Jalona should be good on Monday. King of the Ball, I said in the outset, I think we're parting ways with him. Just have to speak a little closer to the people that own King of the Ball and figure out what they'd like to do. But for the most part, it's upsetting and it's very frustrating. But we can only do so much. I mean, I can't beg them. You can't force them to do it. You can't beg them to do it. They either want to do it or they don't. And King of the Ball is in a funk where he just doesn't want to do it. Does that mean we turn him out and he does it next time? It's a great question. But if he's my horse, I just sell him. But he's not my horse, and I do want to confer with our clients and see what they'd like to do. They'd like to give him a rest and try him again another time in a couple of months, then we can do that. I'm certainly not against that. My 2 cents would be to sell him, but we'll see where King of the Ball lands here in the next few days. Mystical Mission qualified the other day. Here's a horse that carried our barn for a month and a half last year around Christmas time. Was a very, very good-looking horse. Still on the right line a little bit, but always was. He's back with us now, and he is ready to go. Real Willie, another horse that schooled well the other day. He'll be in next week at Mohawk. RV LeBron schooled the other day. He'll be in to qualify. Stolen Dance schooled the other day. She's not going to be in to qualify, though. She's going to need another few weeks. I want to get everything dialed in with her. I was really impressed with her. She only won a mile and 2.6, so she's about 8 seconds from being super effective, but her willingness to learn and do it is incredible, and very, very happy with what I've seen from her. And last, certainly not least, keep an eye out for Stonebridge Loyal. This filly looked incredible schooling the other day. Jason has got a lot of horses knocking on the doorstep, ready to go, and few of them look as good as Stonebridge Loyal did the other day schooling. Very happy with what I've seen with this filly. This filly already proved she wanted to do it from day one. She was sore last year training down. No excuses for her. She never looked for a way out, never rung the bell. We turned her out and brought her back, and she looks exactly how we wanted to see her. Just a really, really nice little filly. So that's it. That's the stables. That's all 3 of them. The babies, you got an in-depth look at the babies. You didn't get your drone today, but you're going to get it next Saturday. Do not forget, open house is coming up. We got some cool things in store coming up here in the next month or 2 here at TheStable.ca. So, talk to you soon. I'll probably have a little more news for you next week also in regards to the open house and what we're doing, but we're working on a lot of things. So, for me, for Amy, the kids, everybody here at TheStable.ca, well, I'm home now, but at TheStable.ca, thank you very much, and we will be in touch soon.